Hi, welcome to the Sifu Mimi Chan Show. Thanks for joining the conversation. For those that don't already know, Greg Rucka is a New York Times bestselling author of hundreds of comics and nearly 24 novels. He is also the writer for his critically acclaimed and award-winning film, The Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron. I'm loving these conversations and hope you are too. If you are, please rate my podcast on your platform of choice and share it with others. If you would like to support with a donation to help keep this podcast going and support the work I do, you can become a patron of the show by visiting my website or patreon.com/SifuMimiChan. For comments or suggestions, reach out on the very evil, according to Greg, social media at SifuMimiChan. Now on with the show. Hello, Greg. So good to see you.
Hello, Mimi. Yes, it's nice to see you too. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I always have to tell my team, like, I guess you could use the pre-roll. I don't know. Like, Greg and I just do our thing, but
just come up with something.
We're always catching up, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, you had adventures and voyages. So
I did have adventures and voyages. Very grateful for that because, you know, you'd asked about the fam. I'm like, things are up and down all the time, but I was able to get away, see some ancient things, which is very nice. I was pretty excited to be standing in what was left of one of the temples of Hera at the Olympic site. And of course, I'm still in the Historia group chat because, you know, of my contribution to that, that amazing graphic novel. Yeah. I always remind Kelly Sue, like, please kick me out at will. I'm, I moderated one thing and it's totally cool. I'm imposter here. Like, it's okay to kick me out, but they're so sweet. They always leave me in. So I texted like, hey, I'm here with my other female warrior. And then also there was like this really cool, ginormous medallion that was at the head of the temple that was in the museum. So I sent them that because I'm sure they could see much more, connectivity to that. So that was kind of cool. And, so thought about my Portland comics community always, of which I am part of.
Yeah. So don't throw it at me that I'm too far away. It sounds to me like you're in the wrong place.
I just
like,
didn't fly in the right direction.
If it's your Portland comic community, I'm just gonna say.
Well, I also never know where you are in terms of along the coast.
I don't know where I am at any given moment. So,
but you're in the same time zone at least. As like California
Portland?
to Portland.
No, I mean, I'm in Portland right now. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I mean, you frequent the same time zone. No?
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm in Australia, in which case I'm absolutely 100% not remotely in the same time zone.
Have you been since I've talked to you last?
I was actually supposed to be there right now. I was going to go out last Tuesday. I was going to fly out, and Jen and I had one of those things that happens when you've been married for as long as we do, which was an absolute miscommunication about the vital thing. Like everything around it, there's some stuff happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I need to be here for that. So if I'm going to go, because the room doesn't look like it's going to start up until late July, maybe, which means probably end of August. There's some other stuff going on. If I'm going to go, now's the time to go. So I'm going to go. I need to be back by a certain date because there's some stuff going on and I need to be here to backstop it. And then it turned out that the dates I had booked were entirely the dates I was needed here.
Of course.
So it was like, and the realization of that was one of those things where Jen and I had a conversation and I was like, so I'll be, and she said, well, I'll make it work. And I was like, you'll make what work? I mean, I'm doing it. The realization that I had just completely gotten it wrong. So I spent about 5 hours being really kind of cranky at myself, like feeling really bad. And then I just was like, no, I'm just changing it. I'm not going to go. I'll go a month later. So I'm going to go out late July.
Okay.
And I'll be out there hopefully for about a month. And if all goes as things seem to go, what will invariably happen is I will land in Sydney and turn my phone back on, and there will be like 6 messages saying, so you need to come back because this thing happened and this thing happened and this thing happened and this thing happened. And like of those things, three of those four would be really good things if they happened.
Okay. Okay.
But when you're outside of Hollywood, there's a real misconception of how time works in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a writer working in Hollywood, it's even more skewed because what you're dealing with are in the main executives who want the thing as soon as possible. So you bust your ass to deliver, and then they keep you waiting for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks before they get back to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's not because they're schmucks, it's because there are
Yeah.
other layers that they are processing through.
Right. Right.
And sometimes it's because they're schmucks.
Right.
So yeah, there's at least two and maybe three things that are all sort of, and invariably when you get to this point, it's either going to be like, okay, they're going to all plummet and die, or they're going to go. And my career works in boom and bust cycles, it seems, and we may be. Then the problem is every time you enter a boom, you don't know how long it's going to last. So so
Yeah,
it's
I
been
mean,
it's
you got to
been
ride that wave while it's there, right?
it really is. Like I had a discussion with my manager a couple of weeks ago about something. There's another project that has come up, and she's like, "You really need to pursue this."
Okay.
And I know you've got your attention on this thing, and this might happen. If this goes, this is an extraordinary opportunity, and you're very well primed for it. Like everything we're hearing is this is a thing they're looking for. They're already well disposed. Basically, if you do not, pardon my French, shit the bed, this is a good thing that can happen. And I don't want to say, yeah, but that's not the thing I'm really passionate about right now. Like I can make myself passionate about almost anything. Like one of the things I think I'm good at when it comes to sort of the freelancer work for hire gig is that I can get enthusiastic about a lot of things that at the start I'm sort of like, I don't know about this. I can almost always find something to love, right? Yeah, so this is one of those ones where it's like, okay, there's this one thing that's been cooking coming up on 10 months now, and we're getting very, very close.
Yes.
There's this other thing, The Room, that's probably going to be coming back in the next 6 weeks or so. And then there's this third thing. And like I said, it's like, okay, I mean, it would be great. But again, you're dealing with Hollywood timelines, which is hurry up and wait.
Yep.
And 99.99% of stuff that gets thrown at the wall doesn't stick. It just doesn't happen. So you end up investing all this time and energy, and then, oh, well, it died. And it died for any number of reasons. It died because somebody got fired. It died because they changed their mind. It died because they just lost interest. They got distracted. And then, add to that the fact that the entertainment industry broadly, and I mean like all of it, is now, so stovepiped under these billionaire directives. It's just, so yeah, I have been thinking about the line that there is no such thing as ethical consumption under late stage capitalism a lot lately. Like there's just, at a certain point you go like, well, you take the money and get the work. Like Jen was telling me, the band Chumbawamba, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're mostly known for this one song, right?
Yeah.
But Jen was doing this doing reading and research into the band, and like they're apparently this anarchist collective. And one of the things they did when they were like, oh yeah, do this song that will be like a hit, they immediately like turned around and started giving all the money to all these other musical groups and so on that were sort of anti-label.
Okay.
And I suppose that's the only real solution at a certain point, is the desire to not participate is very strong, right? Because it feels like a moral compromise. But the fact of the matter is, where we are right now is, maybe it's Malcolm's take, from Lazarus. Maybe it's, you got to destroy it from within. I don't know,
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, there is something
Spoilers.
to that,
So
right? Spoilers. Yeah. I feel like, though, two things there. One, Hurry Up and Wait is like so quintessential Hollywood on every aspect. So
yeah, you've
you're
dealt with
sharing
it.
from a writer aspect. I mean, even just on set, it's
Yeah.
like, we got to get you out of here and makeup now. You got to go, go, go. And then you get to the set and they're like, oh, sorry, we had to fix the lighting, but the person that's allowed to touch this one, rig or this light bulb or this whatever it is, like, nope, we're waiting. And then there's been times where you're just like, hours. We're not talking 20
Yeah, no,
minutes.
no, no.
Like, it's a hurry up and wait. And I'm like,
And
okay, maybe you could
and
have done it before I had
and it's
like an
also invisible too, right? Because you're
yes.
sitting there and you're like, I've done the thing,
Yeah.
right? Everything is specialized, right? These people
Hmm.
are, they all are professionals, they all
Correct.
have their
Yes.
jobs. So
Yes.
this is why I think, and again, once you experience it, you kind of walk away from the filmmaking process as like it's a miracle anything gets made.
We say that all the time. We're
It
like, well, I
is,
mean, they did it.
yeah, it is
The
a
magic of movie making,
remarkable,
but in a different way than people think.
it is, it is a logistical choreographic nightmare. And then, when you think about all of the technical aspects of the job, and then, and, and I am not, knock on, forgive me for saying that, I'm not in the main a big fan of actors, having been an actor for a while and been around them a lot.
Hmm.
But when you think in particular of what is required when they are on set, because they're waiting too, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then it's like, right, get there, get on your mark, execute the emotion, go.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, yeah, people don't realize, like, acting, stunt work, all of that, like, you're warmed up and ready to go, like your muscles or your emotions or whatever it is, like whatever your physical routine is, and then you have to wait, like, things don't work on command
yep.
all the time.
And
So
stuff always
people
goes
don't
wrong.
realize that. Yes.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that, and I've had this conversation before, is, and I think it's changed now because I haven't done film like in Hollywood for like 2 decades, but like back in the day, I'd worked with like Hong Kong filmmakers and US filmmakers, and they would perpetually be so angry with like the Hollywood way of things because it was so
Mm-hmm.
slow. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
this is too slow. We go now. We do this now. We film now. No, and they would just do it because they
Mm-hmm.
had a lot less regulation or red tape or
Yeah,
process. And so on one hand, that those things are there to protect everyone in each department, but
absolutely.
on the other hand, it's very restrictive.
Right.
And
I
we're
mean, this
kind
is,
of seeing that mirror with all the things now,
yeah.
right? Like if we talk US and any other market when it comes to making a car or like getting
So,
this done or whatever, like it's just, if a country can just do what they need to do and get it done, it gets done. Whereas we're just like, oh, hurry up and wait.
well, and now you're seeing the destruction of that, right? Which is,
Yes.
oh, it turns out we had all these inspectors for a reason. Where did the screw worms come from?
Hmm.
Right. It turns out that the reflecting pool was done in this matter so it wouldn't turn into, used bong water. It turns out that for all these people who go, oh, it's wasteful and we don't understand it. I go back to, I want to say it was on Letterman, and I want to say it was Al Gore, but they were talking about Pentagon waste, right? And there had been this whole thing about like, it's $30,000 for a screwdriver, it's $10,000 for an ashtray or whatnot. And then what you saw was a demonstration of this is the ashtray. This is why the ashtray costs this much. Shatter and it breaks into four perfectly uniform chunks that are not sharp. So if your submarine, which requires absolutely maintaining morale in a very close confined space under stressful conditions, takes a radical maneuver or a hit that would shatter that, it does not become a flying projectile that kills people.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, or the one, there was a meme for a while, I'm sure it surfaces again, about like NASA spent $10,000 creating the Schaefer space pen and the Russians used a pencil. It's like, right. And that pencil killed people and the Schaefer space pen didn't.
Hmm.
That pencil started fires. That
Mm.
pencil had shavings and graphite dust that got into equipment and caused shorts and mission malfunction. And so there is logic here.
Yes.
These are not
Yes.
arbitrary choices,
Yeah.
but we are now absolutely in this place where it's like, well, I don't understand it, right? I have no curiosity about it. And that comes from, I have no trust. And
Hmm.
that actually goes to something else. This is because I've been thinking about this, and it was funny because you had emailed, and I was like, you know what, I actually have, this is not going to be a rant as much as a thing I've been thinking about a lot, but it goes to it, which is, and I was jotting some notes. I may write something up for the newsletter, which is long overdue. We are, a large part of how we got where we are now is the erosion of trust, like the attacks on our institutions that say the institutions not only don't work, they have failed and are corrupt. And now the manifestation of that is, guess what? The institutions are entirely corrupt, like entirely corrupted. There's just no way to look and not see the corruption, right? Congratulations, you did it. You turned us into a banana republic in just over 14 months. And the ground had been paved for years and years and years, right? But all of that comes from this place that says you can't trust the government, right? Meaning, and that's not to say blind allegiance. I'm not talking about patriotism. I'm not talking about questioning, right? Your job as a citizen is to keep your representatives, to keep the government honest and in line. The attack on the system said the whole system doesn't work, right? That mistrust now has translated, that is how fascism requires it, right? Because if I can destroy all that, then I can step in and say, but you can trust me. I'll fix it, right? Well, and guess what? No, you can't, and you're a liar. Your goal here is the absolute grift. Take that mental state, and this is where, like, that's vile in and of itself. Where it becomes exceptionally insidious is where that mistrust translates to our social and parasocial interactions when we need to be organizing, when we need to be united. And when it becomes, you said a thing, like, Mimi, I know you and I are on the same side, but you said this thing
Hmm.
and I'm coming after you for it. And it's like, whoa, learn what the fight is about, right? Is it a moment of education? Is it really something you need to be attacking your allies for?
Yes.
Can you recognize your allies, right? And that mistrust comes from this place that is incredibly angry. I see it a lot,
Hmm.
right? People are so angry right now. And so they don't know where to put it because their anger is at these very specific individuals and
Yeah.
choices and actions. And they're not being heard. They feel powerless to affect it. So what they do is they turn around and they say, well, you're a racist because you said this. And again, all right, maybe your ally can be educated, but to dismiss them, to say you are not an ally, is doing the enemy's work for them.
100%.
And I'm seeing that everywhere, like
Hmm.
everywhere. People who should know better are so blinded by their anger and so at a loss where to put it, they're putting it in the wrong places. And so instead of uniting, we're now doing the work of dividing ourselves for them. And clearly I feel very strongly about this. I've been thinking about this a lot. And it's hard right now. God knows it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I say that as a guy who moves through the world pretty much effectively disguised as cishet white guy, right? I understand how at first glance somebody's going to look at me and go, that's not an ally, right? But we got to get this shit under control. They say we're
Yeah,
doing their work for them now.
100%. It's a problem. And it's been a problem, especially like in my surroundings of where we're at, because we've been in a state that is, fairly 50-50, even though like the numbers show differently. Like I've always kind of been in the situation where exactly what you're describing, because Oscar and I are like, we have our allies, we have our safe space at our school, but then some people get so angry that you're not meeting every single layer of every single checkbox of every single issue of every single thing. And I'm like, look, there's always, back in the day when you could talk about politics and disagree on things, back when things were quote unquote normal, like it was okay. You didn't hate the person at the dinner table because of it. And it's like they are attacking, like you said, their own allies, where you're attacking someone that is effectively quote unquote on your side, and yet you are so angry and you have no access to the people you're really angry at, and so you lash out against what's right in front of you. And you find it's almost like people are like edging and picking for a fight, but
Oh,
the thing is, it's
absolutely.
like, and it just takes a small little, not even a push, just like a tap, and it's explosive, and
And we've
everyone's on
lost
eggshells. Yeah.
we've lost the and and I say this personally because I talk about these things and then I realize they come from sort of this self-examination of going, I'm as guilty of this as anyone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, we've
I
all evolved over this last several years to learn
but
how to deal with what's happening.
there is this incredible lack of grace, right? And it's like all crimes now are equal,
Yes.
right? There is no
Yes.
difference between a felony and a misdemeanor. And that makes us all the more prone to manipulation. That makes it next to impossible to accept somebody offering a sincere apology and a sincere effort to learn,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because no, you're in jail now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're never
Yes.
getting out. It makes it very difficult to teach because you are not a good teacher if you are yelling your lesson and calling your student or the person you're trying to educate stupid and bad and evil and ignorant,
Yes.
right? It is, and it took a lot of work to get here.
It
But
did.
I had a couple, I've had a couple experiences, just personal interactions in the last month, and then viewing some things online and some online stuff, and just seeing it and being like, oh, this is, and once again, doubling, returning to Greg's, old saw of social media bad, you know, but you see it nowhere more than on social media.
Right. Of course. Of course. And it's like in our face and in our device
Yeah,
and
I'm dismissing you out of hand.
yeah. I
I've decided that you are wrong and evil and horrible,
yes.
or I disagree with you, so my response is to insult you,
Mm-hmm.
right? As opposed to going, well, actually, you know what? The same thing. We're talking about the same thing. You just said it in a way I didn't like, right? It's really bad.
Yeah. Again, coming from a state where we've constantly had to figure out a way to resolve with people that we know maybe voted a way that we don't agree with, and how are we going to coexist. Like we've had to kind of come to these realizations, I think, a little earlier than like other places where they're in a little bit of a bubble of like so many like-minded people, and we've still struggled, Oscar and I. And the thing that we've recently just been like, we need to be better about is when people apologize and say, I was wrong. I need to now change my vote. We just need to accept them all with open arms and go, yes, come to the right, come to the side where we can talk about things and not just blame them and say, well, it's all your fault. You're the problem. You did this. So good. Sit in your position. And it's like, no, you know what? It's the whole like glass houses thing, right? Like, I'm not gonna,
But oh my God, I want revenge, right?
yes, right.
Like,
You
but
kind of
the
are like,
and it takes, because the proper response to that is not saying, I'm glad you realized the error of your ways. It's saying, wow, that must have been a really hard realization for you to have.
yes, and
Um,
to
that must that that
vocalize
was
it.
that was really brave of you
Yes.
to
And that's
admit.
not happening.
Exactly, but to
It's not
say
happening
that
enough.
and to
Yeah.
validate it and to say that must have been kind of scary for you.
Yes.
And I'm really impressed. And
Correct.
and thank you for saying that to me.
Hmm.
And and if there's anything I can do or anything you want to discuss, please let me know. But hey, good on you for having the courage to learn,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Or at least the courage to look at your assumptions and your decisions and reevaluate them, because so many people can't do that, right? And that's a hard thing to say when you're over in the camp going, yeah, well, you know what? Too little, too late.
Yes. Yeah. And that
Like
doesn't get
tell
us
that to
anywhere.
everybody at Alligator Alcatraz,
Yeah.
right? You son of a bitch,
Right.
right? Like the desire to say, I can't hit them, so I'm going to metaphorically beat up on you.
Hmm.
And again, it's like, and that is separate again from saying that it's all part and parcel of it, but it's separate from going, you said a thing and I disagree with this thing you said or the way you said it, and therefore you are wrong.
Hmm.
You are an enemy, not an ally. And it's like, God, I mean, we can't do it. There's a reason why, again, we talk about fighting forces and so on. You need to, morale matters.
Morale
There's a
masters.
reason why you have ashtrays on the submarine back in the day, right?
Yes.
Because
You gotta
God
have
damn
that
it.
social. Yeah, exactly. You gotta have the downtime. I'm so with you on this. And it's been really jarring and difficult personally to have those conversations,
Yeah.
and because you and I especially, right, we've been so outspoken about our rage and our rants and our anger and whatever, so people probably even tend less to want to tell us like, so I changed my mind, my bad, and or I've come to this realization. And so I've been trying to figure out how to be better about like opening that door so they realize like I will not hate you eternally, because I certainly can look back in life and name a zillion things where cringe, and I feel I've made really bad decisions and acted on things. And if I didn't get the forgiveness, like I took a lot of lessons from my Catholic upbringing and schooling, but like that whole to err is human and forgiveness is divine thing is very true. Like we have to kind of dig pretty deep, and it's hard on both sides for us to kind of be able to give that forgiveness openly and really mean it. But Oscar, I think, quotes you. Well, we talk about you all the time, whether it's like
Uh,
Drug was right about the money, or but the whole get on the bus going in the right direction. It's not going to take you all the way to the destination, but at least go in the right direction. And there's only one bus going in that
yeah.
direction, so get on it, right?
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, but yeah, I feel like I do feel, however, as frustrating, like you said, it's not happening. It's slowly like those conversations are opening up a bit more. Like you do feel people are like so fed up that they're like, you know what? Hey, we'll take whoever, because that's why the right has done so well, because let's take everybody. They take
Yeah.
everybody's vote, and they're like, oh, sure, we don't care if you don't agree with
Well, and
everything.
we're
And
going to
they did such a
simplify
good
things.
job.
We're really
Yeah.
good at simplifying things, right? The right is really good at simplifying things. No, it's this. It's this thing. This is the only thing that matters. It's immigrants are keeping you from getting what you want, what you deserve. Period. End of discussion, right? And it's like, okay. And the problem again, I mean, kill curiosity, kill education, kill critical thought, and here's a spoon, eat it. What is it? Doesn't matter.
Hmm.
It's good for you. Oh, okay, you said so.
Hmm.
Right. And yeah, I think you're right. The moment is shifting. I don't, but we got our newly minted fake trillionaire, and everybody knows what the solution to this problem is. Everybody knows it.
Yeah. I am curious if I know you're a big soccer fan. I don't know if you're a big basketball fan, but Oscar is a Knicks
Yeah.
fan
Oh, I mean,
as a Brooklynite.
I
And
would
we were with
assume.
Spencer
Oh, you
between
were
game,
you
we were
there?
together. No, no. So we were with Spencer between game 3 and 4. He flew to
Uh-huh.
San Antonio for game 4. It was like the day he was flying out, like we had lunch the day before. And
Uh-huh.
he's telling it, and so they're just like going on and on about the energy. And there's something about that social experiment though, isn't there? Like everyone
Yeah.
out in the streets enjoying
And you're
and
seeing
getting
it,
behind something with energy, and
and
the
you're seeing it
very
with the World
underdog
Cup.
team. And yeah, right. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like we can do it, guys.
Oh yeah.
We can do it. We
And
can unite. We can
and we
unite.
need and we can unite around joy as well as despair.
Correct,
Right?
correct. Because
Both
it can't all
girls.
be despair.
No,
Because it's
both
just too
both girls are
exhausting.
in New York, and
Oh, okay, yes, yes.
and
That's right.
Ev is in Brooklyn,
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
I should have checked. I should have
neither
texted.
neither of them have any real interest in basketball,
Right.
and both of them, like, Dash was going to bars to watch
Of
games.
course, that
Ev
was what
was
you
going
did.
to rooftop parties,
Yeah.
and their joy, and the collective experience is
Yes.
it's
There was something magical. So it was
I
pretty cool to be up there. And then Spencer's obviously
oh
beside
yeah. Well,
himself. I mean, he's
you read
diehard.
that
I did.
he put out that wonderful newsletter I wrote him
I'm so glad.
afterwards.
So we were texting the night of the finals,
Yeah.
and he texted me that line, like, we could always be out here. I said, not that I would ever tell you to write. That's the first line of your newsletter. And I'm like, sure, he already had it in his pocket,
Yeah.
but I was so happy to see it in there because it was like, I felt for him because of the energy I felt when I was there. And then his newsletter has been, I love the personal stuff that he's been
Mhm.
putting in because he's so connected to the city and just, really paints.
And
And it's actually a
thinks
nice
about
break
it.
from the, from
Yeah,
the,
from the
from the, what he actually has to write about, gets paid to write about.
and here's yet another reason why this administration is a total shit
Yeah,
show.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, yeah. So I loved it. So I love the one preceding it, which was about like, hey, Nixon 5.
Mhm.
But yes, the win. It was so cool I mean, I feel so privileged to be able to like communicate with him like that. But we were texting the night of the
Yeah.
game, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's like, and he sent me videos. So it was really cool. So I'm glad you reached out because
Yeah, no.
you being one of his favorite writers, he probably was really like proud of that. Like
That
that was
newsletter
nice.
made I literally wrote him. I said I needed this shot of
Yes.
joy.
Yes.
And it's weird. Like, now we're talking sports. I'm like wearing all my Cubs stuff today. I
I see
realized I'm
that. I was
like
gonna say, wow,
totally.
you're like really cummed out.
It's accidental. This was not an This was not deliberate. It
Yeah,
was
because it's
like
like hat and shirt.
it is, and
Or sweatshirt rather.
no, no, it's
Your
hoodie. It's
hoodie.
hoodie.
It's your
Yeah,
hoodie. Yeah.
I am. I love soccer,
Yes, you do.
and this happened the last World Cup, Qatar. It happened the Russian Cup when it was in Russia. I am having such a hard time with the World Cup this time around, like for so many reasons. And it is that continued enshittification and the naked corruption on parade. Like, this is a sport that does not have a break in its halves. We now have mandated 3-minute breaks. They've broken it into quarters. They've turned it into football, so they can sell ad time. That's why they can sell ad time. They call them hydration breaks. And if you're playing in Miami and it is hot and it is humid, I understand a hydration break. If you're playing in Inglewood and it's 68 degrees, you do not need a hydration break. And part of the sport relies on that, right?
Mm.
It
Yeah, like
relies
the endurance and
exactly in the
yeah.
same way that hockey hockey rotates players pretty quickly because they're
Yeah, they do.
burning themselves fast,
Yeah.
right? Every one of these sports has people expending their energy.
Hmm.
This is why you rotate them on a basketball court,
Yeah.
right? Because you can't do that for the whole game.
Right.
Otherwise, you fall down flat. So, it's really hard for me to be watching this. And then at the same time, Cape Verde holds Spain to a 0-0 draw, which is arguably the greatest World Cup upset in World Cup history,
Wow.
right? Just insane. Or, Australia has their brilliant first game. Even the US plays this amazing game. And I'm in this really weird place, right? Because again, it's no ethical consumption in late stage capitalism or end stage capitalism. There's just no way, right? Because I'm participating, I'm complicit. I'm complicit. I can hate it. I'm still watching it. Right? I'm not watching religiously. I'm pretty sure there's a game on right now and we're talking. There was a time when I would have been like, yeah, I can't talk then. I have to watch this game.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess all of this comes down to we're constantly forced to compromise and negotiate,
Yeah.
and on the daily.
But we've talked about this before too. Like it is not reasonable to have zero internet connection, zero cell phone service, zero, because there's going to be a problem with every company, every corporation. There's always going to be a thing, and we can only do so much. And we
Yeah.
just have to be okay with, hey, you know what? I'm going to cancel my Amazon Prime subscription, but
I'm
once
doing the
every two
best I
months or three
can.
months, if I need to buy a thing because that's where it is, I'm not going to say, I'm a horrible person and now I've given in to blah, 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 and just like beat yourself up over it. But you do the best you can. And
Yeah.
you have to feel good about your choices and then not judge other people for theirs, because what's reasonable for me and convenient enough for me to cancel all these things and say, look, I'm done with that.
Yeah, may
And
not work for
it may
others.
not work
And
for others. And I'm not going to
yeah,
tell everybody they have to do that. So I get on the phone with like Comcast or whatever it was. They're like, can we do anything to keep your business? I'm like, well, you can stop supporting ICE. And they're
mhm.
like, all right, ma'am, well, we'll just cancel you. Right. And I'm like, you know what? I felt good about having that
Yeah,
conversation, but not everyone can do that and then go through
yeah.
the hoops that took to get another thing that, of course, has another issue attached
Yeah,
to
and
it.
and again is compromised in
But
its own way.
but
But
you still have to do the best you can and know like
and
we're moving in the right direction and
and think about it and at least engage with
correct.
some deliberation. Like the Amazon example is a really good one because I have very actively not been ordering anything from
Yeah,
them for
me
like
too.
the better part of a year. And wherever possible, going to like the manufacturer and
Yes,
ordering directly from the
exactly.
manufacturer
Direct
and
or a
so on.
local store.
And then in the last 2 weeks, there were certain things I needed
Yeah.
and I needed them and could not find them anywhere else, or worse, found them and the manufacturer steers me to
To
Amazon.
Amazon. I
And
know.
it's like, Jesus Christ, guys,
I feel
you
your
know,
pain. I feel
it's
your
just,
pain. Yeah.
it,
That's a hard
and
one for people.
it is. I
Yeah.
mean, and then it's the difference between going how much more convenient, we like convenience. We got used to convenience.
We did.
Do you
We
need the
really did.
convenience? Like I'm willing to sacrifice convenience on many things.
Hmm.
It's the same thing when like, if we order a meal, if I can order it from the restaurant,
Hmm.
but then you find out that ordering from the restaurant still has it delivered by DoorDash. And then it's like, okay, well then why did I bother?
Right. Right.
Right. It's like I was trying to do you guys a solid.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
When
and
I
there it
when I
is. We
was in
do the best we
LA,
can. Yeah.
when I was in LA, there was a place that I would order dinner from, and on the regular, they had their own delivery people, and it
Mm.
made I just felt so much better about being like,
You're
at
like,
least I'm
yeah.
keeping them in business. I
Yes.
am tipping this driver. I know he's getting the tip,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Oh, I know I struggle with this because I follow like I'm trying to do all, what I consider my checklist of things that make me feel like I'm not part of the problem and I'm trying to be part of the solution, and things become like I had to redo a good reframe for myself. I'm like, God, this is $5 more for, but then I was like, well, I would sometimes donate here and there to these charities or this or that. Like I just kind of have to see that as like, no, this is like a donation towards a thing. And so that
Mhm.
was really helpful for me. But again, that $5 for a lot of people will add up and cannot, it's just not reasonable. So I totally understand that. And this is back to your central conversation, which is how dare you, support that company, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we can't do that, guys. Like
Yeah,
if we want everyone to really get on board, make sure the midterms get solid, and in 2 years get to where we need to be, we need to be better about how we are with our fellow humans.
and yeah, and making making it everything us and them, us
Hmm.
versus them. You're either with me or you're against me. It's like
Yeah.
I can be with you and not agree with this,
Hmm.
like, and also biting back the urge to swear, just like
No, you do
prioritize
you.
prioritize the battles, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, recognize like what has to happen first, right? Like, if the house is on fire, you know, don't yell at me about my choice in curtains. Let's put the house out.
Yes.
All right. And then you can criticize the art on the wall.
Hmm.
Right. But if we're all living in this house, let's save the damn house first. Instead of going, you're not welcome to fight this fire. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, really? It's madness. So
It's madness. Yeah, it's funny because in fitness, like forever, Oscar is constantly dealing with that analogy where it's like that image of the guy mowing the lawn and the house is in
you just
flames,
burn.
and he's just
Yeah.
like la 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 la, let me prune the hedges.
This
And
is fine.
so people
Yeah.
ask him like, oh, do I need to cut down on, this or that? And he's like, all right, let's start with something like, are you sleeping? Are you drinking
Yeah.
water? Like you go to you have to triage things in a certain way because you start to like, nitpick over things that like, yeah, you can do that, but if you're not even sleeping
I've been
ever,
I've been having the protein shakes. I don't
yeah,
know why it's
it's
working.
like
It's
he's like,
like, because
sure, go ahead and take that supplement, but if you're not sleeping and you're not drinking water, then like you
yeah.
probably start
It,
somewhere bigger. Like
if you're not
you
getting the rest, if you're not looking,
prioritize
if
the
you're not
battles.
eating well, if you're not keeping this sack of chemicals properly balanced,
Yeah.
then all you're doing is increasing the imbalance.
Yes.
You know.
So, I mean, the prioritization thing is huge, but again, that comes to convenience, right? It's so much easier
Yeah.
to go after that low-hanging fruit that gives us that immediate
Here's
satisfaction. And
who who was the writer, and this was like 10, 15 years ago, made a whole career on it, which is like, hacking, these hacks. They were all hacks. This is your 4 hour
oh,
work
Tim
week.
Ferriss.
Yeah, the
Yes.
whole Tim Ferriss bullshit of it, right?
I totally
Which
read that.
which is which is and
It's the
again,
life hack. Yes.
I'm not going to go point to point and saying what works, what doesn't work,
Correct. Yeah, yeah,
right?
of course.
What I'm looking at is this gestalt thing that says you can do all this without the work.
Yeah.
There are shortcuts.
Yes.
There, everything has a shortcut,
Mm-hmm.
right? I say I've been watching the World Cup, and there was an ad, and oh my God, the ads. Like, this is the other thing. When you watch sports, you see all the ads, and it's
I
like, oh,
know
so
because we haven't
it's
watched basketball forever, and we were watching the Knicks games,
yeah,
and I'm
it's
like,
like,
this is
so
painful.
here's an ad for medication. Here's a drug. that may
Gambling,
in some cases cause death. Gambling everywhere.
which
Gambling,
is
gambling,
insane.
gambling. Jingoism around the 4th of July that is vomit inducing in many cases. Like and the AI prevalence in these ads, by the way, bad AI, ugly AI, over and over again, just this assault, right? And amidst all these, I saw an ad for Edward Jones, the investing, and literally it began with, to be rich, you do these things. And the reason I bring it up, the reason I thought it was noteworthy is I had never, ever, to my memory, seen an ad selling that, right? I've seen ads selling investments in your future, your retirement, even wealth management. This was an ad that said, this is how to be rich, right? And what that says about where we are, like, who's that working on? Who's responding to that ad? Right? Who's going, well, clearly he's talking to me because I want to be rich, right? Yeah, we are a real sick civilization right now. We are a very sick civilization.
You are right. We are, everybody is always looking for the shortcut and not wanting to do the work.
It's just make it better. Make it better. Do this. If you have this pill, and then we get a conflation of things. Like I've been doing a lot. I've been on GLP-1s for like 4 years now, right? 5 years. So I was on them before I was aware that they were becoming a thing.
Okay.
There's a whole discourse talking about them only as weight loss drugs, as diet cheats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the research into the GLP-1s and you see like this legion of benefits that they have, right? That more and more things are becoming evident for those taking GLP-1s.
Mm-hmm.
So take that and here's something, it has a net good. It really has a net good. Like for diabetics, oh my God, this thing is a wonder drug. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now over here, it's being commoditized and marketed by an industry that thrives on, in particular, targeting women about their appearance. So GLP-1s become bad to a subset of people because of how it's been co-opted.
Yeah.
And again, it's a nuanced conversation to be had here, right? Because there is an argument. We have, despite the current, worm-ridden mouthpiece, we have decades of data that says obesity causes cascading health problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So that's a separate thing from a beauty standard.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Increasing the mean health of a population lowers costs. Mm-hmm. In theory, it doesn't, because the insurance industry is as corrupt as anything.
Right. That's another conversation, but yeah.
Right.
But in theory, yes.
Yeah. Social media and insurance, Greg's two big evils of the world right now, like more than anything. Yeah. Social media. And both of these go, to billionaires. Wow. Funny that. Greed.
Greed. I was gonna say
greed. Greed.
Weird. Greg comes back to greed again, doesn't it? It's like in my head.
Yeah. Greed. Greed, which also goes to entitlement and on. But I just again, and all of this, I guess, sort of loops back to what we started on 40 minutes ago, which is we're so bifurcated and tribalized, and our lines now are so absolute that any nuance in these conversations is just lost. Yeah. It's just lost. Like there's research saying GLP-1s are helping manage addiction.
Wow.
Right? Like alcoholism, drug addiction. Apparently, GLP-1s inhibit those receptors as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so, okay. You cannot tell me this shit's just out of hand bad. You can absolutely tell me that marketing this as a diet supplement to conform to an artificial beauty standard that is effectively male gaze driven, that is wrong. That's bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Two things can be true, as
Yeah.
they always say. And we have lost nuance. We've definitely have the inability to kind of like take a second, take a beat, and then, oh, wait,
and breathe.
these things can
And
be true.
again, goes to social media, right? Which is, how can I trigger an immediate
Immediate.
response?
Yeah. It's an immediate
How can I piss
response.
you off? Let me get that dopamine hit going. And I say, I know what I'll do. I'll say something outrageous and offensive. Did that make you angry? Woo, win.
I know. Ugh. You're right. We're just letting like the people win who shouldn't be winning. But okay, I know you have actual work to do and
I do. I
game
have to write
things to see
Batwoman.
eventually. And ooh, Batwoman.
Yeah, gotta write Batwoman
Gotta
8.
keep writing Batwoman.
And the announcement will have come out. So I can say, yeah, Batwoman 8, which is the second of the Bad Seeds tie-in
Okay.
issues that I am doing. And then I got to write Batwoman 9, which is going to be a standalone drawn by Leandro Fernandez.
Ooh, nice.
And I also have to write the second issue of the super secret other thing that I'm doing that's going to be Bad Seeds. And I'll give you the Lazarus update really quickly,
Yes,
which
I
is
was gonna
Michael
ask for that.
continues to recover.
Yay.
Here's the big news for people who care.
Yes.
I had
many
said
of us.
20 issues for this final run. Turns out I was wrong. It's now going to be at least 21 because I thought our second arc was going to end. Yeah, I needed an extra issue.
Okay.
I spent forever writing this, trying to break this script down. And then I sort of had the realization. I was like, oh, it's not working because I'm trying to cram too much in. I need to do this over 2 issues. And then I had the second realization, which was, and I can just add another issue.
You can add an issue. Yes.
I can do it. So I'm going to. So that's what I did. So Michael is drawing issue 11 right now.
Okay.
And once it's drawn, I think we're going to be, we should be back on a solicitation schedule, but I am really cautious. I don't want to make any promises, and I do not want, if we do not use up Michael, we need.
Yes, Michael, we need. Exactly. We don't want him to overdo it.
Exactly. So
yes, 100%.
So we are making sure that Michael, who is going like, no, I can do it. It's like, slow down.
Yes,
slow
I know.
Down.
I know Michael. So that's good. Yeah, we kind of got to rein him in a little sometimes. So yeah, I hear that. I feel that. Well, thank you for that update. I know that.
Yeah. So there you go. You can say at the very end, comics update.
Lazarus update. Yeah.
And the Forged is back. The Forged is out on.
Is back. Yes.
And gets really insane in these final issues. Like,
to catch up. That's on mine. Okay.
Oh, it's so over the top.
And then I can talk to you guys about it when I'm totally up to date.
It is so much fun. We went so over the top. We were like, yeah, you know what? Let's turn it up to 11. Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
But it only goes to 10.
Yeah. No. This one goes to 11.
This one goes to 11.
Yeah. So we turned our comic up to 11. So.
Yeah. Love that. All right, everyone. Greg Rucka,
thank you.
and Greg show is back.
And I'm around for the next couple of weeks. So we
okay.
should do it again.
I mean, you know me. I'm going to book you. I'll see you in 2 days.
Let's give it about 5 or 6.
All right. Yeah. I'll give you a week. Say hi to everybody.
I will, and love to everybody there. Okay.
All
right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to The Sifu Mimi Chan Show. Please subscribe and rate my podcast on your platform of choice and leave a review. You can become a patron of the show at patreon.com/SifuMimiChan to help keep this podcast going. Follow me and interact on social media at Sifu Mimi Chan on Instagram or Facebook.